she can't just escape to a side lane and get those kills going there. So we've seen a little bit of it, and it's been effective so far, and hope to see if Artifact keep it up.
So, on to the ref we do go. Team Flash looking for their first series win of 2023. And just having a little gander over towards the bottom side. One of the changes, I believe it's a change to Annie, is that she now starts with 4 stacks. So she can flash Q if she wanted to get some CC onto Eddie and maybe force Eddie to burn his cleanse or flash.
Yeah, and in the end, I think he just was forced to start E. Had a little bit of a delay there, but he did not find himself in a great position. But all in all, nothing too much taken away. But yes, that early stun, that pressure from the Annie, lets her be a little bit more impactful in these level 1s, not having to start W and sit and fountain spamming it to build it up. So just happily engage and push off these fights. Now, the early level 1 trading could be difficult for both teams. Level 1 for Aphelios is not very strong, so kind of undoes the advantage in the support position. And just a little bit of trading, but nothing much to write home about, as jungler's just going to clear both towards the bot side. It's the standard way to play the game. Head bot, keep your bot pressure on, and gank bot when you can.
Well, Yoshino has already got Hero down to about half health in this Fiora-Renekton matchup, just really using the lunges and finding the vitals of a Hero to do so much work in the first level of this game. Something that I do want to bring up as well is talking about summon spells, because very often when we see an Annie in the mid lane, we see the Ignite coming through for that extra kill pressure. However, Jane opting to go for the teleport, so having a bit more presence in the later stages of this game.
Yeah, just so I realize is that, no, I can't. I'm never realistically going to be able to blow out the Cassiopeia and get that kill threat going. So just have the ability to return to lane, keep the farm up if you get pressured out, and keep everything nice and steady. Gives you a bit of side lane presence later on as well. And everything just proceeding as normal. I believe there might be a lack of information on Fuquan, who skipped over his Raptors and the ward that was on them. Not sure if he was spotted, so they may not be aware that he is on this bot side right now. They're going to find out as he bumps into Skewed.
We're going to get a quick trade, and the issue here for Team Secret is Eddie and Juhao can't make their way up, so Skewed is going to be forced to belly bop over the wall and out to safety, and Fuquan will gain control of the bottom side river and pick up the first Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, we're actually seeing really, really nice landing coming out of Team Flash right now. There's good trades coming up from both sides, and yeah, just keeping up the pressure, winning these trades on this Lucian army. You can't quite find the angle, but now Skewed looking for that return. Fook has left the area. He will be spotted now.
And it's a really nice ward that was placed by Fuquan just to give her Pudding and Sora a little bit of extra vision, a little bit more awareness of when Skewed might have potentially looked for a gank. And that ward comes in pretty well for the Team Flash bottom lane.
Yeah, Skewed he's cleared out his camps. He's just trying to make something happen while he can. He's lost the bot side crab, and his little wandering has left him open to being double scuttled by the side of Fuquan, so that's gonna be a pretty comfortable advantage unless this wraparound comes through. Puddin is quite low, has both summoners.
Hero and Yoshino trading on the top side, both of them missing out a bit of health. Now Skewed comes over the ward. He's not going to be spotted by the ward, but Eddie and Juhao are so low, putting on a half health. What can Skewed do? Sidesteps the barrel roll. Flash forward from Sora! It's not enough. Eddie will survive, but now there is no support for Skewed, and Sora and Pudding can just unleash auto after auto. Jane making their way over, actually teleported to the bottom lane tower just in case things went south for the Team Flash bottom lane. Jane has flash, can just flash Q to land a stun, decides against it, but now where is he gonna go? It's one poor support against the world, and Team Flash get first blood.
Absolute bloodthirst coming out from Sora. He saw the angle. He didn't quite have enough to get it in, but they outplay it beautifully. And with that follow-up from Jane, he walks away with a kill, which is, you know, it's a nice reward for coming down to help, even though he wasn't necessarily needed. And just beautiful coming out from the side of Team Flash, off to a fantastic start, picking up 1,000 gold lead. And this is missing the most exciting part, is we just sort of see Skewed have to walk away from the Gravitum and the Lulu. He can't quite do anything, and Suhao just...
Marby, do you think Jane should have flashed Feud?
He might have got there in time. It might have just gone through, and the projectile would have had to follow Skewed all the way to base. I understand not committing the flash when you had the guaranteed kill of Suhao, who was staying at a tower anyway. But
okay,
yeah, it's a slow-moving projectile, so there's a decent chance that the teleport would have completed anyway.
Flash W.
Possibly.
Anyway, it is one kill, and it is first blood for Jane, who is now a little bit of CS down on Artifact after effectively 2 roams to the bottom side. Skewed trying to, skewer his way over to this bottom side, but Fuquan is here as well, and neither side knows that the enemy jungler is waiting, so this might go really badly for Skewed. In goes Fuquan, finds the CC, the Aqua Prison doesn't land, but Skewed is going to be able to make his way back to safety. No kills come through, and Pudding loses a large chunk of his health bar.
Yeah, technically this is a win for Team Secret. It's simply a health trade, and Fook blew his flash, so just actually a small victory. Free Dark Harvest stack as well for Skewed, so you take those, and narrow on that Aqua Prison, but Team Flash will walk away just fine. And meanwhile, there is a 20 CS lead happening in the top side, and that's a Renekton. You're meant to win lane, and that's a Fiora with Cull.
I feel like Renekton is meant to win lane. I don't know how the matchup against Fiora goes, but I know whenever I play Fiora, every matchup feels great. As here comes Fuquan in the bottom lane. Cease and desist onto Eddie. Little Lance will find it slow, but Team Flash just can't follow up. They do get the cleanse out of the Lucian, so that is one summoner down for the Team Secret bottom lane.
Yeah, nice Aqua Prison to stop the follow-up from Pudding, and it all goes well. But on the top side, here's where Yoshino punished.
Flash forward to find the CC. Can Yoshino make his way out to safety? Surely he's got a flash available. Barrel Roll will get another Dark Harvest stack for Skewed, but there won't be anything further to come through. And now Eddie just having a little think about whether he wants to go in and trade onto Pudding.
Lots committed from both sides for a lot of not much. Oh, that's good.
Really good Aqua Prison. Solo. There come the autos, and that is the kill. Eddie, good flash forward from Pudding to make it a 1-for-1 in the bottom lane. And now he's just got to run down Ju. How Moonlight Vigil comes through. Is there enough damage? Yes, there is. And it's a double kill for the Team Flash ADC.
That's an effective 2v1 for Pudding, because Sora just fell down instantly. But hey, you got the assist as Lulu, so you can't complain. And a double kill for the Ophelia is going to
Sora
get
had
him
heal.
Racing ahead. Have to check those. We're not going to actually get to see the summoners, but maybe it just wasn't quite up in time and just popped straight open. And Pudding, left to his own devices, has that barrier to absorb some damage and gets to run down Suhao, built up the chakrams, and lands the ultimate. That means that there's just a few more bits of damage to finish him off.
I know Aphelios has been out for a really, really long time at this point, Marby, but I'm going to be honest, I still don't understand how his ult works with the auto attacks following through and all of that, so I just watched just thinking something cool's got to happen whenever Aphelios does things. I should probably play some Aphelios to work it out, but yeah.
Big green one. The green Q and ultimate puts a mark on someone, and when you right-click them, you basically get an auto-attack with nearly infinite range, and if you have chakrams, it'll throw all the... around you as your secondary weapon, it'll throw all the chakrams at people.
Eddie does have a flash available. It is a nice tidal wave to get a knock-up onto Sora. Wild Growth used just to keep a Fook 1 healthy, but Eddie holds his nerves and holds onto his flash.
Yeah, Fook going very deep sort of just far away from where Pudding can actually respond to the aggression. And now that the Vi has left the area, or so they think, Skewed is here to make his presence felt with that explosive barrel.
These junglers are enjoying this bot lane way too much as the Moonlight Vigil comes through just to chunk Eddie even further down, and Jane is here as well. It's the bot lane party. Artifact does not have a teleport available and is slowly walking his way over. The culling used just to get through this minion wave as quickly as possible as Artifact reaches the bottom lane and Team Flash will make their exit.
And Skewed has just also been losing out in just the jungle farm. There's an entire top side left for Fuquan to clear, and he's 20 CS up. He's 5 camps ahead of Skewed. And I don't know what this Gragas is doing. He's hanging around bot lane a lot and getting nothing done. He's trying to visit lanes, and because he's not achieving anything realistically, he's just falling further and further behind. And that's great for Fook. He's gonna get straight onto that Black Cleaver and well on his way. Meanwhile, Hero, he's stopped off for a Executioner's Calling against Yoshino, and that's... yeah, it has healing, but okay, goodbye, Jane.
Here comes Skewed in the mid lane. Timbers is used. Jane has flash available, but knows that it would not be of any avail. It's in the bot lane. Eddie's getting chunked down really low. Has to be careful. Does have Xu Hao for a little bit of healing with the ebb and flow. And now Pudding is just going to get this wave to crash under tower as Eddie is forced to reset and actually cancels that back.
Oh. Okay, there is a Rift Herald here for Skewed, so they will get a lot of plate damage down onto this tower unless Fook wants to try and dissuade them. But that's going to be 3 plates taken quite easily. And yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of gold into the Cassiopeia, who will be a menace later. And I mean, Jane, not much you can do here. You get just CC'd, Petrifying Gaze into the Gragas. You didn't have your stun ready to drop the Tibbers, and it just sort of fell apart. Not much you could do.
And Team Secret now just 1,000 gold behind after the mid lane kill for Artifact and then the Herald. Big CS leads though coming in for Yoshino, and in particular Pudding as well, who has the CS lead and 2 kills as well on this Ophelia. It's going to be an absolute monster in any team fights or skirmishes that will be happening over probably the next 10 minutes or so. But Artifact, huge on this Cassiopeia, and it all comes from the fact that Jane made those roams down towards the bottom lane, and now we're seeing Team Flash wanting to get on top of Snack Lady, but Xu Hao is here for support.
Yeah, Xu Hao in the right position. They don't feel confident going for the play, especially as with Skewed there too, but the dragon is now live, and we might start to see the fight.
Flash body slam, but the flash from Sora prevents the explosive cast from knocking the Lulu into the other of Team Secret. We're just seeing Eddie.
Dude got greedy, I can only assume, because you shouldn't miss the barrel unless you go for the auto attack in between. Yeah, but if you don't auto attack after the ultimate, they are stunned long enough for the barrel to come through. Usually, unless they have an absurdly high tenacity.
Fuquan going over the wall. Out comes the Aqua Prism. Big Moonlight Vigil will follow, and Skewed has already fallen. It's a 1-for-1 jungler down on each team. Now the teleport is coming through from Yoshino. Hero doesn't have a teleport to be able to join in the fight, and Team Secret are forced out of the river, and Team Flash will be able to secure the Drake.
Yeah, actually insane that the fight could have gone so much worse without that teleport, because Puddin and Sora turned their attention straight onto that dragon. But Team Secret want this inhibitor. Wow, god damn. Mid lane tower. I got it.
First tower.
Get there in the end. First tower, pick it up. That's a lot of gold pushed over into the side of Team Secret in exchange for the dragon, but traded back fairly quickly. And Flash feeling confident with a pretty okay lead. This is the second time around, and Fook and Jane committing so hard to kill Skewed, but there's not great follow-up from the bot lane of Team Flash, so they end up sort of isolated from the fight and just taking the dragon as Yoshino comes in to just save Jane.
And I feel like if that teleport comes through a bit earlier from Yoshino, maybe Team Flash can essentially have a 5v4 and win the fight a little bit harder. And then it almost feels like the time it came through, it just had no real effect. Maybe it dissuaded Team Secret from being a little bit angsty at the tail end of the fight.
Yeah, definitely dissuaded them from trying to clean that up. It didn't end up saving the tower, but it's a nice, quick, decisive call from Team Secret to pick that up to counterbalance the loss a little bit. But Puddin was left to his own devices to pick up gold on his own, and I'm wondering how much gold he's sitting on, because it looks like he should have a decent gold lead over Eddie, but it's not really manifesting itself in items right now. He's got some boots, and there it is. That's the BF sword. That's a start.
Tier 2 boots, BF sword as well. To be fair, Eddie though does have a seal, which while it's not as impactful as a BF sword, it is still a relatively expensive item in total. What is it, about 1,000 gold, I want to say?
Yeah. I think it used to be 1,200. I'm not sure if it's still that, but yeah, and of course, I mean, Lucian has cheated a little bit of gold in his build with skipping the Doran's blade and getting those free boots to just, boost him along a little bit. So, and of course, First Strike will have supplemented the income as well. So, in the end, we just need to see sort of comparisons of these gold, but yeah.
I mean, Eddie's just completed the rapid fire cannon, so technically has the second item before Eddie, despite being down in CS, down in well, actually not down in kills anymore, but he was down in kills and assists. So it doesn't make sense, because he didn't even get that many tower plates either.
No, it's definitely just a mix of First Strike and not having spent gold on certain on boots and Dorans. But in the end, it's really, you've got just the small 1,000 gold lead, and you'd imagine most of that would be sitting on Yoshino with a bit of a lane advantage, some gold under his belt from turrets. He's got that full mythic complete. It's just interesting to see where it's ending up, because I'd love to see where the gold distribution actually is, because some of it feels like it should be in other places, but it's not manifesting yet.
I feel like the last time we casted, which was last week on Saturday, every time you brought up something like that, and you said, "Oh, I'd really like to see this," the observers actually brought it up. It was actually kind of magical, just how you got the timing spot on. But sadly, today we are not having any such luck.
I'm trying to manifest it. Give me funny graphics to talk about, Mr. Observers. Anyway,
something else
Dragon in a minute.
Something that I do want to bring up is Eddie is strong now, right? And despite him being weaker than Pudding for this majority of the game, he is still a Lucian. He's at 2 items. We're at nearly 20 minutes. He's going to hurt a lot, as will Jane on this Annie, as Fuquan goes over the wall, forced to flash and ride the explosive past roller coaster out to safety. And Skewed, as you mentioned, just maybe being that little bit greedy with his ultimate.
Yeah, just trying to weave in that empowered auto attack before throwing out the cask. You used to get away with that, but they deliberately made it so you couldn't. And that's just, yeah, you can't do that anymore. And that's twice now that the engage from Skewed, the attempted pick, has just gone awry. And sure, Fuquan doesn't have his flash anymore, as culling will rain down, but you've lost your main sort of big engage or disengage tool in a team fight. And it's now just down to how much poke can you actually land to dissuade this fight. It's
both top laners
well so far.
Both top laners have teleport as well. They can join into this fight. And if I'm looking towards Team Secret, I'm looking at Hero flanking, finding his way onto Pudding and Sora in the backline. Team Secret have control of the river. They start it up. Fuquan has ultimate available. Skewed does not. Tidal Wave just to zone away Team Flash, and it will have the desired effect. Jane, though, making his way in. In goes Fuquan. He steals away the Drake. Moonlight Vigil on top, and 2 members of Team Secret are trapped in the pit. Artifact is low, and so is Skewed, and Artifact will get killed. Skewed over the wall. Team Flash get a kill, and Team Flash get the Drake.
Team Flash get the dragon. Absolute beautiful smite from the side of Fuquan, and Eddie's looking to chase it.
Eddie is feeling brave, flashes forward in the end. The kill goes the way of Skewed with the explosive cars, but the teleport comes through. Team Flash make it a 1-for-1.
Yeah, absolutely. It took long enough that the explosive barrel came back up, but Jane returning with the teleport means that they can trade it back instantly, get 2 more kills and a turret. Everything is going in the way of Team Flash right now. They've got 3 dragons, they've got great mid lane control. Baron is now on the table, and they can absolutely shred through this with Aphelios, who now has an Infinity Edge in his pocket, and just rides Artifact in, picks up the steal, and the CC is great and traps Artifact in the pit. He could have flashed. I'm pretty sure he even... Actually, okay, I guess not. I don't know. It felt like he could have flashed. Or maybe I was just lied to by some of the graphics on the screen. But Eddie tries to chase the loss, gets 1, but they overcommit too hard for it. And with Jane's teleport, it's equalized and taken even further.
You can't really blame Eddie for going for that. He saw blood, he saw putting low, but there was just so much healing from Sora to keep putting alive. And putting now 4 in 1 Infinity Edge, as you mentioned, completed. And that Infinity Edge is a lot stronger than the rapid fire cannon that has been picked up from Eddie. And we're getting to this point now where the Aphelios is going to be stronger than the Lucian. And that's when they have the same number of items.
Yeah, we still have to see sort of where the gold's going to come through. This next item from Puddin, we're not quite sure what it will be just yet, but once he gets further and further along, he will be quite happy. BF still picked up Freddy on the other side. He'll be able to put out a decent amount of poke damage, but still won't be able to put out as much in the extended if just left to free fire. Just so much control.
Something else to bring up is what we talked about before this game, which is that Team Flash have looked good in all of their series in the early stages of the game, particularly against GAM last week. But it's after they get through that early stages of the game, when it starts coming down to macro, when it starts coming down to team fighting, that's when maybe they start to slip up. And let's not forget, Team Secret last year, a very, very good team fighting team with Artifact, kind of dictating fights, Shuhao playing so well as well. Can Team Secret emulate that, right? Because they aren't a huge amount of gold behind. You're talking about 2,000 gold. That's not a lot to fight back from.
Yeah, and I think we've sort of seen flashes of it. Like, that dragon, it looked pretty good for Team Secret. They managed to bully Team Flash into a bad position and take control of the dragon, and it really should have been theirs. Just a bad smite from Skewed, and it's just these small advantages that have let Team Flash come together. They've out-executed, but they've not necessarily ran the positions better, and now Skewed's just in trouble.
Yeah, it's just CC on top of CC. Skewed will fall, and Team Flash say, hey, look, there's a Baron, and Secret no longer have a jungler available to them. And surely this is going to be Flashes for the taking.
Recalling Jane, that seems really... Okay, he did have that
teleport
available. And they even teleport in... Okay, that's interesting. They teleport in hero to defend this Baron, and that just means Yoshino, he's fine. I think it was an actual bait. I don't think we're gonna get a replay, but I think Yoshino disappeared. Annie disappeared as well. They saw the teleport come down and thought, oh, Yoshino is joining. Hero has to join, but it was Annie. So Yoshino just gets to freely push another tower and crash another wave.
And now there's a teleport advantage for Team Flash in the side lane, and it's for a Fiora that absolutely loves to be sitting in the side lane. Team Secret will have a teleport advantage for mid laners with Artifact on that Cassiopeia having his backup, but Artifact's going to be with the team anyway, right? He and Team Secret don't have the ability to force a split push using this Cassiopeia right now, I feel.
Yeah, definitely not right now. And
okay, Fook going in, Jane trying to follow up. Good petrifying gaze, and the Lulu has been forced out of the fight. This might be going the way of Team Secret. Hero has used the Dominus. The Drake has been started. This would be Cloud Soul for Team Flash, which would be absolutely huge for the likes of Yoshino on this Fiora. Can Skewed get his revenge? Can't get into the pit. Yoshino now over the wall, looking towards this Renekton. And it is 2 kills now for Team Flash with both Skewed and Hero falling. Fook one flashing forward as Artifact, Eddie, and Juhao are forced to retreat.
3 seconds on Skewed, but they pick up the soul and they are going to head straight towards this Baron. It's gonna take a while for the Gragas to get there. There's no Crocodile to worry about, so Team Flash are just gonna take everything after another big engage to just remove the Gragas. And Fook is surviving so long with this Aftershock that he's able to just go in fairly recklessly. It feels like it's not the biggest gold lead. It's only now jumped up to 6k. But yeah, he's just going in like a lunatic, but Jane is always behind him. Because over here, he looks like he's in a really bad position, but they just go, all right, we're going to kill Gragas instantly. And Hero commits his entire combo onto a Lulu and doesn't even get the kills. So they just feel out of sorts and don't want to push in through the Aphelios, just dropping the turrets, throwing out the poke. And without that Gragas, they don't have fantastic engage. They maybe have a tidal wave, but they already used that as well. So it's just a quick pick onto Hero on the way out, and Team Secret just can't get anything done.
I feel like it's so unlucky, though, for Hero that he didn't get the kill onto Sora. You're talking about possibly single-digit hit points on the Lulu. Maybe that fight could have gone a bit differently. We'd be looking at a slightly different game, but now it is Team Flash with a Soul. Explosive Cask will only land on to Sora, putting, though, left alive as the side of Team Flash just pushing the mid and top lanes with Baron buffs in both positions, and Hero already chunked down, and Yoshino just getting this wave prepped as in go Team Flash once more. Artifact chunked down, Yoshino over the wall, gets the kill onto the Snake, and Team Secret are just being absolutely wiped. Artifact and Juhao will be seeing the grey screen possibly for the last time this game, because Team Flash are looking to end this game right now.
They've got Baron, they've got Tibbers, they have so much damage, and Team Secret doesn't have an Eddie anymore. They're not going to have a Hero for much longer either, despite that big heal from the Gore Drinker. And that's it. That's the first game for Team Flash. And if they can keep it up, they are looking for their first series win. Put it on the board.
Put it on the board.
Impressive.